So hi guys, so this is our lab develop an AI agent with VS Code extension. So we'll be using Azure AI Foundry VS Code extension, right? So we will be using this VS Code extension Azure AI Foundry, and we will be building an AI agent which will be using Model Context Protocol server tools. So it will be using server tools from the Model Context Protocol server, right? To access the external data sources and APIs. So let's start. So first of all, you need a Visual Studio Code installed, and obviously you have an active Azure subscription. So then open the Visual Studio Code, right? So after opening the Visual Studio Code, you will have to go to, so this is the Visual Studio Code, then go to extensions, and in extensions, you will go to Azure AI Foundry, right? So you have to install this extension, and you can see it has a dependencies. So it has dependencies on these two Visual Studio extensions, Azure Resource and Azure Toolkit for Visual Studio Code, right? So let's see. Uh, this extension you can deploy large language models, develop AI application, develop AI agents, right? So with this extension, you can basically develop LLMs, AI application, and agents. Let's also see what these dependencies do. So Azure Resource extension. So it is to view and manage Azure resources directly from VS Code, right? And what is the another extension? AI Toolkit for Visual Studio Code. Let's also see this. So AI Toolkit is a powerful extension of Visual Studio Code that streamlines agent development, right? So it helps in agent development, right? So it helps in explore and evaluate models, build and test agents in minutes. So yeah, we will use this toolkit also in future. So yeah, these two extensions will also be installed with Azure AI Foundry extension, the Azure Resource extension, and AI Toolkit for Visual Studio Code. So let's now install this extension. So while this extension is installing, so yeah, it's installed, right? So now what you will see, let's minimize this extension pane. You will see there are three panes. One is Azure, another is AI Toolkit, and another is Azure AI Foundry. So for each extension that is installed, because Azure AI Foundry has a dependency on AI Toolkit and Azure, so that's why all these three have been installed. So now let's look what we have to do. So after installing this extension, we have to select the Azure AI Foundry extension from Microsoft, click install, and in the VS Code sidebar, select the Azure AI Foundry extension icon. So we will select this one, right? So now it's already here, and we have selected a already there is a lab 4 and all those models are already there because I have already signed in to this before. So that's why it's showing me. I can also sign out. So if I go to Azure resource, right? So maybe I can sign out from here. Let me see. So I cannot sign out from this, right? Because right now these are my resources. So this is the Azure extension. So here you can see it is my subscription, and then here are all the resources, right? So in my Azure iFoundry, I have these three resources, right? And then in yeah, in virtual machines, maybe no, in storage account I might have two storage account resources. So this is my Azure subscription, and from here I can basically create a resource group or create some resource, right? And all of these things I can do it from here. But if I want to sign out from my account, I can do that. So this is my account right now. So the extension Azure Resource wants to sign in using Microsoft. So I can basically sign into another account, or I can sign into this account only. So okay, so let's try to sign in to our another account. So I don't have any other accounts. I only have that account. So that's why we will keep this only. So yeah, you can sign in from here also, right? So afterwards, what we have to do, we have to come to AI Foundry portal, and the next step is, let's see. So after signing in, you have to create a new Azure AI Foundry project by selecting plus icon next to resources. So now what we have to do is this plus icon, we will click on this to create a project, new project, right? So yeah, so here it's saying if you want to create a new project, so which resource group you want to put it in, right? So I will select create new resource group. So let's click on this create, yeah. So now it's asking me what location do you want. So I will keep it into the same location as East US2, right? And now I have to enter the resource group name. So let's see what resource group name we can enter. uh, yeah, so now we have to create a resource group name, and yeah, AI agents lab resource group. So we will enter this one only. So RG AI agents lab. So yeah, and now we have to enter the project name. So for the project name, I can enter this is uh, agents lab. So agent lab, or I can say yeah, agents lab. This one is the, I think, third lab. So agents lab 3. So yeah, so we can enter this. So now our project name is there, resource group. So this is creating project, creating a new resource group, creating cognitive services account. Everything is being created right now, right? So this is a AI Foundry project. So we can also go to our Azure AI Foundry, and we will see here, right, that the project is created. Then what is the next step? Let's see what's the next step. After creating this, to use an existing resource group, you can select the resource group, right? And now, okay, they have created a AI agents project, but I have choose a different name. Then wait for project deployment to complete. So when the project will be deployed successfully, it will show message project deployed successfully. So yeah, we can see that Azure AI Foundry project agents lab 3 deployed successfully, right? So it has been deployed successfully. So if we go here, maybe on refreshing, we can see it in our portal also. So yeah, here you can see we have this project Agents Lab-3, and this is AI Foundry project. So the next step will be to deploy our model. So let's select a deploy a model button. So now here in our models, there are no models currently deployed. So we will click on this plus icon to deploy a new AI model. And from here, we will select which model we want. So we will want GPT-4o mini. So yeah, in model catalog, locate GPT-4o mini model, right? And yeah, we can search it quickly, and then we will deploy it in Azure. So let's search GPT-4 GPT-4o model mini. Yeah, so this one we will select GPT-4o mini model. Right? If you want to see the details, then we will click on it, and for that we have to go to the online website. So yeah, then it will show the whole model card here, right? So we cannot have the whole model card here. So here just we can deploy the model. But we can filter it out and search it out. So like we can filter out the models based on the hosted ones, based on the publisher, features, the model types, right? We can and fine tune sport. So on all those things we can filter out and we can search. But right now we will just deploy this model. You can see the model card also here. So here the model card is here. It's telling the context length, quantity, quality index, input type, output type, provider, languages, all of these things it is telling me, key model capabilities, right? And then benchmarks, a lot of benchmarks here, right? So all of these things you can be on the browser only. Then we will select deploy Azure AI Foundry. Oh, not this one, deploy Azure AI Foundry. So it is fetching project and model resources. So now let's wait for it. And in the meantime, let's check what is the next instruction. So after the model has been deployed, we have to go to the model section in resource overview. And in that section, we will create our agent, right? So yeah, so model has been deployed. So deploy this model to Azure AI Foundry. It is asking us the options. So Agents 3 Lab is the project name, connected resource is the Agents Lab 3 resource, right? And deploy a model. So deployment name is this, deploy model Whisper. No, we do not want to deploy the Whisper model, GPT-4o mini. So we will deploy this, deployment name is GPT-4o mini. Deployment type standard, we will say global standard, right? And then model version upgrade once new default version is available, once the current version expires, right? So this one model version we will keep it default. Tokens per minute, it's okay. And content filter is default v2, that is also okay. Resource location and authentication type is key. So now all of these things are, we can verify it. So also here also we have to select, deployment name as GPT-4o deployment. Let's change the deployment name to this GPT-4o mini deployment, and this is lab 3. So let's call it lab 3 also, right? So this will be our deployment name, this is our deployed model. And next, model version default, tokens per minute default, and then we will click on deploy. So now let's click on deploy to Azure AI Foundry. GPT-4 mini model will be deployed to this action can incur cost to your resource subscription. Do you want to proceed with the deployment? Yes, I want to proceed with the deployment. So now this model is being deployed. Now we'll wait for some time, and afterwards we have to create an AI agent. So for that we will go to this agents tab and then click on create a new agent, right? So let's wait for a minute. Yeah, this deployment has been created. So if we click on this, we can see the deployment info. We can see the target URI, the key, and the content filter, and all the deployment info. As we can see that in our Foundry portal also we can see the same thing, the same description. The same description we can see here also. So now we will go on to the agents, and then we will click on let's close the model catalog, and this, like, we can also edit this, right? We will see this later, that we can click on edit, and then we will edit, we can edit these things like rate, token per limit, right? So model version, so it will tell like what things we can edit, but right now we will not edit. And then let's close this. The next thing is that we will add an agent. So let's click on plus sign of beside the agent. So this will open two things. One is a visual interface and another is a YML file. So YML file has the same thing as visual interface, just it's a YML file. So whenever we will make changes here, it will also get reflected here. So what we will name our agent. So let's see what's the name of the agent. So data research agent. So we will type data research agent. So let's put the name of the agent as data research agent. So for ID, it will automatically assign it, right? So this is data research agent. ID is will be assigned automatically. So it's right now nothing. Then the model we will choose GPT-4o mini deployment lab 3, right? Because we have that deployed model. So our agent will use this model. Then we need instructions. So enter system instructions such as this. You are an AI agent that help user research information from various sources. Use available tools to access up-to-date information and provide comprehensive responses based on external data sources. So then we will copy this and we will paste this in here for the instructions. So now this is the instructions, and now there is option for tools also. We can add tools also, but right now we just have to save the configuration by selecting file and save, right? So we will just save this configuration. So let's see how to do that. Yeah. Yeah, and now we will basically add MCP server tool to your agent. So now we will go to the MCP server tool. So for that we will go on add tool. Then we have to select which tool we want to select. Files, grounding with Bing search, code interpreter, MCP server, and we will select MCP server. And now we have to tell the search URL, server URL, and the server label. So where is the server? At this URL. The server is at this URL. So we will paste this MCP server URL here, and then we have to put the server label, and we will label it as GitHub's dog server, right? And then we will paste it here. Then allow tools empty for all, right? So we do not need to allow any tools. So we will just create this tool, because if we haven't selected anything, then it is allowing all the tools from the server. So now let's click on create tool. So this will create the tool, and this has created the tool, right? Now the next thing what we have to do, after this tool has been created, now we have to deploy our agent to Azure AI Foundry, right? So for that we will click on create on Azure AI Foundry button and wait for the deployment to complete. Then let's do that. Create agent on Azure AI Foundry. As you can see, it is also changing these things. So like instructions, YML file is also getting generated. So agent is created successfully. So you can see all of this has been changed, the YML file based on our this. So now our agent has been deployed, and you can see there is a data research agent here. We can also update agent on Azure AI Foundry. So like we could change something in this, right? And then we can update, but we are not doing that. But yeah, we can do that also. So next we have to test our agent in the playground. So now we have the agent, right? This agent we have, data research agent. So yeah, so 1 second. Okay, so we have this data research agent with the tool. So I have opened some tabs. Let's close all. Yeah, for this one, this close, don't save. Yeah, and let's close this also. Yeah, so when we click on our data search agent, so this is our agent which has ID, name, model, instruction, right? We can edit this agent. So if we click on edit, then it will open the YML file and we can edit the configurations here, and then click on update agent on Azure AI Foundry. But we are not doing that. So yeah, let's close this. Let's open the agent, and we will not edit the agent. We will open that in playground, right? So let's see what's happening. Right click on the deployed agent, select open playground. Agent open playground will open the new tab within the VS Code. So if we click on open playground, so a new tab, this playground gets opened. So we have this agent instructions here also, and there is a playground to play. Yeah, so let's play. Then in agents playground, we will test this prompt. Can you help me find documentation about Azure container apps and provide an example on how to create one? So we want to know about Azure container apps. So let's enter this and let's wait for the response, right? So yeah, send the message and observe authentication approval prompts for MCP server tool. For this exercise, select no authentication. So when we do this, we are being prompted with authentication method. So do we want to access MCP tools without authentication, or we have to provide a custom authentication authorization headers? So for this, we will select no authentication. So when we click on this, right? So always approve tools will execute without asking for approval. Ask every time. Require approval before executing any tool. So it's asking whether you want to execute the tool always, or whether you want your approval. So like for approval, we will basically approve whenever AI wants to use any tool. But if we say always approve, then it will not ask human to whether to use this tool. It will just use that tool. So let's see. For MCP tools approval, you can select always approve. So for right now, we are selecting always approve, right? So always approve. So now it will generate a response. So let's wait for a moment and then review the agent response. Note how it uses MCP server tool to retrieve external information, right? So let's see. So it has not failed process, rate limit exceeded. So rate limit exceeded, try again in 60 seconds. So there is some rate limit problem. Okay.